fans. So I had started a live actually. I was with Bearded Blue Collar and a bunch of others, and we were building this Back to the Future car. It's a Silver Wing Cyclone, and it's actually through a company I believe it's called Power Bricks or Power Block. This was something I had gotten on Amazon. Now, go ahead. I mean, we're going to finish up what we have. A lot of this has already been done. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. This portion here, this is actually a Speed Champions style chassis. And just to show that off, like if we go back to our wonderful, wonderful DeLorean, you know how much I love this one. This is an absolute killer build here. But if you go, very, very similar. And line-wise, as far as like wheels and everything, this will line up with it. So this is still 8 studs wide. It is longer, but it's longer because of the fact that it is a longer vehicle. Whereas the DeLorean is actually kind of a shorter car. I know because I've seen an actual time machine replica. It was actually really cool. Now, cool things about this is that it does have that Back to the Future Silver Wing Cyclone, and it is a display box that'll go in. This will be incredible. And of course, the box here. We'll move that over here. So our box, things that you miss. I'm just trying to show you. So you got the Silver Wing Cyclone. We got this really cool detail stuff here. We've got this here. This is in its flying mode. And then we've got its regular car mode. Now, we're going to basically finish putting this together. We don't actually have that much more on this, but we're going to finish putting it together and kind of see where we're at and finish things up. So far it has been a solid build. There's one area of contention for me, and it's this right here, where I've had some so these little pieces here are kind of rubberized, and some of my chrome flaked off on one of the pieces there. I'm not too keen on that, but other than that, I mean, look at that. That's all chromed bumper, all chromed front. They're using bananas for the roundabout for the front of this thing. We've got kind of rocker plates here we have rocker plates for the window, but then we've used plates with surface holes on it, turned sideways in order to create this kind of build out here where this sits out. I mean, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And apparently we're going to have a full engine and all that. So we are picking up from where we were. We're going to finish this up. So we need a 1x3. We need a 1x4. And then it looks like a 1x8. Let's see. Yeah, 1x8. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be going right here for this. Boom. This goes here. Excellent, yeah. With 3 left on the end, and we're going to continue on. So we got a 1x1, a 1x2 slope, so it's a step slope. We have a 1x1 plate with the double-sided stud holes, and it looks like this is probably a 1x7. Now at this point we're kind of down on our parts, so we don't have like a lot left. We do have some bag 2, but I believe that's all the flying kit stuff. So we're going to get the car portion together, and then we're kind of moving on to the rest. So with that being said, we've got, let's see, our slope goes here, and then we got a 1x, then we got our plate with the hole. Line those up, and then we've got this on the end, and it should go out almost three anti studs on the back. Then we have these. Now all these how they're showing us it's shiny is they're putting a little like shine glow on it, and they are all chromed. And for the most part, like the chrome, I don't think it's vacuum formed. And I say that because if it's wiping off of the rubber, I wouldn't say it's vacuum formed, but it is a type of metallic paint, and it's pretty bright. It's not too like it's shiny, and it fits really well with the look of this car. Like I'm not even gonna lie, it looks amazing. All right, so now we're doing the same thing, but now on the opposite side. So we got this, and they often have us where we're building in pairs. So we'll do one side, then we do the other, and then we're getting the rest set. So, okay, one here, this one here, and then a repeat of the same part. So a 1x2 slope, where is it? A 1x8, a 1x1 plate with the double-sided snot with holes, and then another 1x1 tile. Where's our 1x1 tile? It's right there. Okay, and then we're going to continue on with this here. Boom. Tile. Plate, but this time we're turning the plate the opposite direction. Let me square that up a little bit. That one goes here, and we're checking 3 anti-studs on the back. We got them. Now these are going, now you figured they would go forward, they don't. They actually go backwards like this. So what we're doing is we're going to be lining these up with the front. They're going to go all the way over the front a little bit, and it's going to go over the light. So a lot of these, some of these plates are, you know, I would say they're loose, but they are overdone in order to create small little details on this build, which are, I mean, downright amazing. They look beautiful. So this is going to go here. And you know what I did? I did something wrong, didn't I? Or no, I got them. So I figured the mirrors would have gone on the inside, but it looks like we're putting them on the outside. That might be something that we're changing as we move along, but I should have one more, and it is a 1x1 plate with a half round on it. One by one plate with a half round. There it is. All right, and that one's going to be going right over there. Again, out like this, looking nice. I do feel like that should have been on the inside. That's a little awkward in my opinion, but I mean, I'm not the designer. There's a good chance that I am not seeing it for what it really is. But it is awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Having that kind of backwards like that, it's like, wait, really? Really? That doesn't seem quite right. Alright, so we got 2 of the rounded 1x1 plates. We've got 2 of these 1x3 sloped bricks, but they are reverse slopes. And then a 3x3. We need 2 of those 3x3s. 3x3 plates, man, that's not something that we get like very, very often. Okay, so I'm looking here. So we got that. Looks like it's going up 1. This is going on the bottom, and we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. So up 1. This goes on the bottom, and looks like now we're going to be adding to it. So we do have this 1x6, the 2x2 clear step slopes, and then 1, 2 of the 1x step slopes, and they're going in white, clear, clear, and then white again. So that's what we got. Alright, I'm just checking something. Like I said, I just gotten done with the live. It was supposed to post but when I went to go check it, it just was not going through. So I ended up having to delete it. It might be on Twitch, but they don't really hold on to things very often. What I found at the very end was, I didn't interact as much. I know I missed one person that was on the live, and I felt really actually kind of bad because I was like, oh my goodness. And I even, because I had clicked out of it early, so I missed the name, and it was like, hey, what you building? And I did not even realize what was going on, and I feel awful for that. And then to have the whole thing delete, so it's like I can't even go back to look to see what they have, because I'm looking sometimes at multiple screens, so I completely missed her comment. I feel very bad about it because I was like, I don't like doing that. Anytime that I can chit chat with someone and say hello, I prefer to do that, and I completely miss it on big lives like that. That does happen. And we had a lot of people. I had a lot of fun. A lot of craziness going on, to be quite honest. So maybe, and that might be why maybe it didn't go through, is because there was so much data on it that just it didn't work. But I figured, you know what? We'll finish the build here. We'll finish talking about it. I can kind of chit chat here, where I can focus on this build. It's late, but I kind of want to get it done while I can, and then we'll get this up for everybody. Okay. So here we go. We do need 2 of these bars. So that the main part of the live was actually everyone was on TikTok, and I know I was on with bearded blue collar brick builder, and he is a fellow brick builder. He's actually been on one of my lives before that I had here on the channel, and he was when I did the chicken coop, or the hen house from Luma Bricks. He was on during that one as well. Really solid dude. I enjoy getting a build with him and company. And we had a full house. Now they were working on a Technic. It was the Bronco, the Technic Bronco, which is it's a really cool looking build. But they had a thing where it was like, hey, we're only going to be doing so much build per day. Though Luke, who decided on it, started to get wild with it after they had built everything. He was wanting to open more bags and kind of spoil it for Bearded. I'm like, no, don't do that, man. That's not cool. But it was a fun show, and there was a lot of people there, a lot of people. So if you were there, or if you were there on the TikTok, hey, thank you. It was a cool little show. Now, boom, boom. Unfortunately, for the first part of this, I missed quite a bit. And I will say, if you were in the messages, and I missed your messages, which I do apologize, I really do. That you have no idea. Sometimes that bothers me, because then I feel really bad. I tried going back and looking for your name, and I could not find it. I couldn't find like what you were on, if you were on YouTube or Twitch, because I stream on both at the same time, and then I stream on my phone onto TikTok, and I missed it. So here we go. I'm gonna put that here, and then okay, I see what we're doing. But yeah, it was a good time, and I will admit, so far, like with this build, like the stuff that's been done on it, this is actually quite a cool build. I'll put the link. I have the link for the actual build down in the show notes for this one. I'll get a review on it as well. Like I do plan on reviewing it, but it is a cool build. I was quite surprised at just how crazy cool this thing is. Alright, so it looks like we're building it looks like a back seat. That's actually, oh wow. Now that's going to be pretty tight. That's going to be tight. But we'll have to build something up for that. But yeah, that looks amazing. This is, so this car is actually Speed Champion size. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so real quick, I am just kind of checking to see where everything's going to be. Okay, it goes up there, boom and boom. And that tilts just slightly. So it tilts just slightly, and that, I think the tilt on it just makes it to where we can turn it upwards. That should fit down into there. I'm wondering if I need to go forward more. Let me look at it again. Looks like I got everything on there. But it says that it's supposed to fit right into here. Okay, I got it now. So yeah, you just have to move this forward to get that in there and then close it down. Now, the only thing is that this is going to cause issues if you want to put a figure in. They still put a tile here that's got the two studs in it that makes it easy for connecting and disconnecting, but you might have to line these up each time. But it does have that kind of old style rag top, which is nice, and you get the two clear on the back for the window. That looks amazing. It is beautiful. That's gorgeous. Okay, so we've got one 1x2. Lots of these. These are 1x2 tiles with 2x2 tiles with the 1x2 plate on the vertical on there. There's lots of those, and I'm digging seeing all that. Now we got one verse, one opposite way. Looks like 2, 1, 2. 1 and 2. And then 4 of these 1x2 rounded pieces. 1x2. 1, 2. And then, yeah. So we've got, that goes here. And then we got 2 on each end. 1 and 2 here. That's going to fit to there. We've got, we'll do this one. Boom. And then 1 and 1 here. That's going to go to the opposite side right there. Now, this, it looks like it's supposed to fit right down in there. Now, I thought the whole thing was actually engine. We still have engine work there, but that's going to fit into there. And that's going to create this part right here. So we still have some work in there. It looks like engine work, which is solid. Because, I mean, we want it to, you know, definitely have that feel of a Speed Champions, but also have like a few little extra bells, whistles, things like that make it really cool. Okay, so let's see. We need 1, 2 of these 1x2. They're yellow, but 1x2 plates with rounded ends. 1 1x2 here. 2 of these dark blue claws, 1, 2, a 1x4, and then a 2x2. So it looks like it goes here and here, here and here. This is going right up on top. This should be fitting right on the top of there. And then these are going to go right into these holes on the bottom side here. And I have a feeling we're going to be, this might be the hood portion here. Got 2 of these, so they are the rounded stepped plates to bricks. There we go, 2. Let's see what we got. Okay, I was just checking. Again, I keep getting messages, and I'm wanting to make sure it's no one trying to reach out to me for something important. Instead, it's all the other notifications for all the other things that I don't really need. Okay, so this is where I think we might have a problem, because, and I say that because I'm supposed to have this dark blue plate. It's a 1x4 plate, and I don't see it. I've got a light blue one. And as long as I'm not using that light blue, yeah, okay. So it looks like we traded out a dark blue for light blue, and I think yeah, I think I know where it is. It's this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and pull this part off, and we're going to replace these plates. Now, I believe, and I say that because looking at this section here, this would be a light colored plate. So going right there. No, one down, just like that. And then we've got this plate that kicks to there. Then we've got this light that kicks to there. This is supposed to fit right into here. And the way that they did this part of the build is actually pretty solid. It just fits right down into there. Now, with that being the light blue, that frees this up as our dark blue. So we got that, we got that. You know, a couple times I thought, I was like, oh, we're missing pieces. And honestly, we have not been missing any pieces as of yet. Now, I won't put it past it. But so far, this has been, build-wise, this has been absolutely solid. Everything that I could have thought that we would have is there. Which is what you want with a good build, right? You want there to be plenty of pieces and parts. You want everything to be there. You don't want anything to be missing. And this has been good for the money, I should say. Absolutely good for the money. Okay. So we're going to put this in here. It's one of those, I'd say, I know it says 8 and up. I honestly would kind of say that this needs to be on that lines of it needs to be older kids. Like it's definitely not a quick, easy, kid-friendly build. Not so much. But if your kid's in a Speed Champions teen, preteen Speed Champions fan, this is definitely right up their alley. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to turn. Instead, we get some of this engine work, and it's going to be hidden underneath. Still a cool Easter egg, but yeah. Okay, so that's not wanting to fit down. Pull this up just a little bit and see if that helps. And what I might have to do, depending, All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull each one of these, and then we're going to go ahead and clip them into there. 1, 2, and then I'm going to set them upright, and then I'm going to line this up with where it goes. I think that might, yeah, there we go. That'll hold better. So that might be the key to putting that hood on. There is a little bit of a gap there. I'm not too keen on that. Bet you there's a way to press it in just a little bit without breaking off the bumper and all that, which is what I'm currently doing. Yeah, let me put this one on this side and get that squared away. Yeah, I might be pulling some of this up and rebuilding. As a matter of fact, it's like one of those, I don't necessarily want to move on until I feel like I got it right. And that just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like it's solid. It's not sitting the way that you would expect it to sit. Aha. So these should, in theory, we're going to go ahead and pop all these off. We'll pop these out. We're going to try that again. Maybe now that we have a little bit of tension out of it, we'll see kind of what we got. Let me go ahead and set this in right here. Boom. That's going to go right in here. Boom. So we got 1 and 2. These are going to go right into the back right here. So it's not the one right to the end. It's this one kind of off to the front. We'll snap that into place. Okay. It still has a gap. Now, I'm not too keen on that, but that's, at this point, I'm not sure there's a lot I can do about getting that down where I want it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. And that says a lot. Like, you know, I've liked this build, but the fact that won't line up tells me either I've done something grossly wrong, or there's something about this part of the build that just doesn't work. And I am wondering at this point. Okay, so we're going to set those into place here and here. Then we're going to pop that. Oh, yeah, no. Oh. All right. So at this point, I've got all of this all busted out. Oh, my goodness. The whole front of this car is all broken. Okay, let's get things back where they belong. So that fits over here. This one is supposed to go right over, let's see. It goes right in here. We're going to place these two back where they belong, right there and there. Okay, so that's settled. I do feel like that should have been pegged a little bit just to hold that into place. Now we're going to go here and here, and we'll set that and that right there. Turn them and then we'll fit it. Okay, and it looks like we're just going to have a little bit of a gap. I don't like it. I think it's unsightly. I think there should be a way to rebuild that, honestly. But as of right now, it is a no-go. And yeah, we kind of need to get this thing built. All right. So we do have some decals. Now these decals, it looks like it's going to go over a few areas. Oh, that part kills me because you know how I feel about decals going over multiple areas. Now these decals, they are much like the decals that we got with our news van. So they are kind of the stick, peel, almost a water slide type. We can cut those up as needed, which we will probably do. We've got two number 11s. Now these are grills, and I am really hoping that, oh good, they did. I was about to say, I'm really hoping that they wanted to make sure that we did not go over. Now, granted, why we didn't do this part earlier, I have no idea. That would have been easier to put those stickers on a lot earlier than now. If we're putting the other stickers, like the little, was it not number 7s, but the number 10s or whatever, if we were putting those on earlier, we should have probably put these on earlier as well. I guess maybe they didn't want us to figure out what it was we were building just yet. They wanted to keep some of it a mystery, maybe. Okay, so we'll stick that on. Again, like model making. Ugh. And I did the terrible, terrible thing. Some of it peeled up. I can't get that off, can I? Let's try this one, see if I can pull that up. Let's see if I go the opposite direction, if I can peel it without damaging my decal. Okay, there, we got it without damaging him. Lord bless it, huh? Thank you, Lord. As we definitely that part can become unsightly. Now we do have up here. It looks like areas where we have lines. It looks like it's just running on this 1x1 brick, which again I'm fine with as long as it is on one brick and doesn't cross a threshold of several bricks. I'm usually fine with it. That's when it goes over multiple bricks that I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not going to use that sticker. Because that, for me, model making wise, is just, I do oftentimes, and for certain things, I take them back apart. And sometimes I store them in pieces. And sometimes I will even go as far as to, whoops, I can't believe that happened. So we have one sticker that had another sticker that attached to it. Oh my goodness. And that sticker broke up into multiple pieces. So we're going to have, you know what, that's probably at this point, that feels like absolute trash. We did not get a replacement. That stinks. Because look, it stuck to the brick separator. It stuck to another emblem. It's stuck, and that's shot. It's ruined. I might actually, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to end up taking that, turning it in, and we're just not going to have that decal there. Because if I have one, but I don't have both, there's no point. Absolutely no point. Okay, so we do have decals that are running here along the back. We do need to get those settled. So I guess this is all decals at this point. Absolutely everything from here on out. So it's going to be all decal work. Okay, so it looks like we're putting that right here. Line that up. Rub it down. Pull it up. Now, I do want these. I want to make sure that I get these settled. So we got a 1. Now we should have a 4. And pull up a 4 here. Okay. We're going to line our lines up here. Press them all the way down. It looks like we might have a little bit of a gap right there. That's unfortunate, but that'll have to do. So we're gonna press that in there. And then number 2. So we get a number 2. Again, line it up. Press it in. We'll pull them all the way down. Interestingly enough, some it feels like it's like maybe I need to pull from the other side, but some of these decals are just not pulling very well. There we go. Okay. And it looks like we lost some of our, whatchamacallit, our chrome on the rubber pieces that fell off. So it's a good build, don't get me wrong. What we're getting some pretty cool techniques. Some, like, overall the build itself is quite a bit of fun, but there are some challenges. And a lot of the challenges have to do with the chrome, decal laying, and some of the steps on how they want us to put certain things together. Like these pieces right here, this could have easily been a last bit of stuff that we do, sort of, hey, this is the last stuff we're going to build sort of thing. We do need to spread some of that out because we need a little bit more room to put it up here. It looks good, don't get me wrong, it looks good, but some of that needs to just be dealt with just a little bit. There should have been a few things in place to allow a better transition. Like at this point, I probably shouldn't be putting stickers on at the very end. I probably should have put them on with the plates as they went on, if that makes sense. And I say that because at this point, after the fact, it becomes a lot harder to put these things on. And that's usually when we start getting kind of messed up stickers and mess up decals, things like that, things that aren't wanting to sit correctly, because we've already moved on, you know, we've already kind of broken from one part of our tradition. Things, you know, at this point, like, it's easier to line it up on a tile like this than put it on than it is to do it after the fact. And some model makers, they would argue, no, get it like this, but with Lego, with building blocks, it makes much more sense to put the decals on as you are doing the build. And I would end it there at that point, because I mean at this point that's just an absolute honest truth. Matter of fact, look, I'm gonna do it like this. Watch. If I were to take this, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on right here. And maybe the reason why they're like, oh, don't do it this way, is because it won't line up. But, you know, I've got pieces that aren't lining up on the other. And, you know, that's with them all together. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, well, I mean, how... At this point, you know, like... Is it really, is it 6 or half dozen of the other? Answer this at this, they're kind of the same. Neither one is perfect and or correct. Again, more chrome falling off of that. That part kind of bothers me. They probably should have just done away with the chrome aspect of that, because that's not only is that flaking off, it's flaking off and it's getting all over my tabletop here. And that is disgusting. Okay, so I'm going to finish this up here. Line that up there. We're going to pull this end. And again, it pulled right there. See if I can get it to sit back down. You're gonna do me wrong like that. Busted decals. Honestly, if I think maybe probably what's gonna happen down the road is I'm gonna end up just stripping all of those decals off, because I've got a lot of broken ones and I don't necessarily like. I'm not an absolute perfectionist, but when it comes to a build that I want to display and show off, I would much rather have like decent looking decals, decent things that are all set in stone. Number 8 got destroyed, so to me, I'm not even going to go with the rest of number 8, honestly. Not even going to look at it. Now, we are going to put it into flight mode. We should have, okay, so we should have wheels on each one. So how they have it, it's very interesting. So we have it to where it is, we've got flight mode here, and then we can just take it and go into car mode. Okay, so we're just building a trunk and going that way. I wonder if we'll have enough parts to build all of it and then just change it. So we're going to start with it in flight mode. We'll build that part and then we'll kind of look and see. Does that give us enough for the rest here? So I would want... Okay. It looks like we might have some flight stands. Or some pieces for flight stands, which would be kind of cool. Some hoses. Some more of our silvery things. Okay. Alright, and then we still have some of these stickers, which we'll deal with in a minute. Matter of fact, I want to see how we're doing for our box over here. Okay, I want to find this, and just a rocker top. I do need one of these. Boom. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, and guess what? You'll be fine with that. Absolutely fine. Here we go. So we're going to put this rocker plate right in here. At that base rocker plate. This is going... Where is this going? It says in the center, but it won't do that. So instead we're going to have to put it on the side. Then that's going to go right here. Now this gets the Back to the Future logo piece here. So we're going to set that in there. This is the one time, now normally I use my brick separator to lay stickers, except these, they'll get stuck on that plastic and then they don't want to come off. Now that is beautiful, look at that. And we'll put that inside of our box over here. We'll kind of, I'll bring it up and show you here in a minute. There we go, so it'll look like that. Alright, now, we can go backwards. We're done with this. We're in flight mode. Okay, so we've got there's not a lot left, so it's like one of those, it's like at this point we're just kind of finishing up what we can. So we got this and this, they're going to snap into here. This is going to go upside down. We've got silver piece that goes here. A snot plate that goes down and over. A 1x1 that goes next to it. And then a 1x3. Just going to go right here on the end. Okay, and then we've got, looks like a 1x2. Another snot plate. And then this kind of curvy, it's almost like a wedge, but it is a 1x2 curved wedge, so it's got a little bit of style to it. That's going to go down right here. It's going to go right here. That's going to go right on the end. Just like that. Okay, then we've got a Technic piece. We've got a blue post Technic. We've got a 1x1 with a hole in it, and then this Technic post here. Let's see. This goes into this. Goes into this, goes into this, and that's supposed to sit right in here. That's a bit of a tight fit, you gotta be honest. It's a very tight fit. That might cause some issues, unless we put something. We should be putting something reinforcing up there. My hope and my expectations is that we should. If we do, I don't know. But I'm guessing that, yeah, we probably will. Now, hopefully we have enough. I think we're making 2 of these. Then we got a whole trunk thing that we're going to make. This goes here and here. Boom. There we go. That goes there. Just like that. And then we've got this big guy here. And then one of these. Now, they have us going across the 2 bricks. I'm not a fan of that. I keep telling them, no, don't want to do it. But we're going to do it. Surprisingly, you know what? No, because it's going to be covered if I do. I was going to say, I'll just cover it here. But it doesn't work that way. So we need 14. Let's go ahead and pull 14. What's going to happen, though, is I'm going to end up having to cut this thing apart. That should line up here. Across the 2 bricks, against my better judgment. Let me do this. Goodbye. I want to go across here. I really want to make sure that... There you go. And, of course, it breaks. Okay, so that is set. That is done. Of course, we got this 1x1 round 1x4. This, and then this translucent right here. I like how we're playing with the translucent. We're kind of playing in on it. We need 2 of these. So we've got 1, 2. Am I correct? Yep. I'm going to put that in here. This is going to go here. So we got some translucent blue. And this is going to go right into here. And it's going to hold all this down. So let's snap that all into place. Okay. Alright. Then we've got a pair of binoculars. A little translucent blue post. 2 of them. 1 and 2. 2 sets of binoculars. And then this little white dovetail looking thing right here. And then a silver flag. Now I remember we used one of these on the back of the police cruiser. That was a part of the build that they had that was just like, oh, okay. That's going to go here. That could be an issue. That probably needed a little bit more reinforcement, to be quite honest. Put any pressure on that and it caves. It's like, oh, that's not good. Alright, so I'm going to have to take my fingers and do this to get this out. So 1, 2. Now, I do like this translucent blue against the silver. I think that looks pretty. That's going to go here, create this, and that should snap right into there. So we got a cool looking like display thing. Okay. Now we do need this bar and piece here. 1, got our hose. That should go right into there. Okay. That's a little loose. That's a little awkward in my opinion. And this is going to go right into here. Let's see. We might be able to do it all as one thing. Alright, so it looks like this is supposed to go back here. So this is weird because it doesn't necessarily give us a lot of room. I guess this snaps to here, possibly. So maybe that goes out like that. That's supposed to spin around and go into here. Okay, this is awkward. Not gonna lie. That right there is just a little awkward. And I know it has us trimming it, but I'm not always like that. I'm like, I feel like that should be down a little bit, but it's not. It doesn't leave a lot of room. And I think that's where I'm like, wait a second, what? But I guess we could turn it in kind of like this. Now, this is just tension hold, so it's not anything. I guess we could press it over that. No, we really can't. Okay, so that's just kind of tension hold. That'll hold like this. I'm going to skip ahead. I want to see where to put it. Oh, I think this is going to go right in here. So instead of a wheel, we would put this thing in here. Except this is now causing us issues. So let's do this. Let's flip that out. We're going to flip it around this way. We're going to turn it. We're going to cheat it. We're going to put that in here. So that fits in here to go right here. But that's the thing. It's like we won't have it to where it is, where it has a wheel. So the wheel back here works. But now this is all in flying mode. It's not going to, this is not going to help it move down the street. So that is how it is. Okay. So if we're wanting, like, this will display in here, but just keep in mind, it's in flying mode now. It's not going anywhere. So now we're doing the same thing, but we're going to be going to the other side. So 1 and 2. We got our claw here. Where is it? There we go. And we're going to be doing the same thing we did last time. So, but this is going to go, that's the one on top. Matter of fact, these will just set off to the side. 1 and 2. There we go. 1 and 2. This time, we've got our silver piece on this side. So we are switching it up just a little bit. That should fit to there. We got a 1x1. That's going in there. And again, the same thing as last, but this time the build is just in the opposite direction. So, which works, but tension-wise, it took it a minute to get us where we need to go. So it's going to go like this, okay? And let's keep going. So we have the yellow. This got a blue over here. And then a 1x1 brick with a hole in it. There we go. So I'm going to turn it the right way. That goes this way, this goes in here, this way, this goes in here. It acts almost like a little spacer. And that's supposed to sit right into here. Yep, that'll be on that side. So it works. Okay. We have another one of our claws. And this right here. So we want the claw to the outside. Oh, let's get that off. Claw to the outside. And then this to the back. And then we've got this and this, and we're going to be doing another decal. So we've got one more decal left. And I think that's going to go probably somewhere on the very, very back. So let's go ahead and grab our decal. Okay, press that on. Make sure it goes right to there. There we go. Push that back in. I like to do this again. I don't want them to be connected. There we go. So that goes there. And then we're going back to this. So we've got our this, and the 1x4, I believe. 3s. One by four. Okay. So this is going to go on the bottom. Boom. And boom. We've got this one that goes right here. Boom. It's going to go across here. There we go. Snap that into place. And then that is off, it looks like. What did I miss? Let me go back one. I see what I missed. That's why things weren't lining up. I missed a 1x3. So we do have a 1x3 that goes right there. Then we have this. Then we have this. Then we have that. And that is what lines up. Now we can put this on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that lines up. That does it. So we got 1, 2, let's get that on there. And then 2 of the binoculars. 1. We got this. There's the other set of binoculars right there. I actually like this part of the building technique quite a bit as far as like greebly work. I could possibly use this same idea again down the road. It is a fantastic fantastic part of the build. I do enjoy this quite a bit. Like the idea of what we're doing with this, like this, like sitting on here, this part, like that. That's pretty cool. And then we've got our fin on there. Goes that way, and then this should fit. Oh wait, we still have our tube. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're gonna pop that in here. Pop this on the back here. See if we can shove that in enough. We got this one. We're gonna pop this one in on the back over here. And then that's gonna fit right in like that. So we're gonna turn it to where it fits outward. That sits into the place where the wheels would go. There you go. And that'll just cup, like they bored out the inside, so that'll just fit right onto it like that. We could adjust these wings as needed. Push that down. That part still kind of bothers me. Maybe there's a way to lift that up for it. So maybe one's a little bit higher, one's not. Look, wow, pretty cool. Okay. So these parts are done. And done. Now it looks like we're building the flight stand portion. So we got one of these. It's like 2 of these. 1, 2. Oh, hold on. Oh, 2 and 2. So 1. And this one gets 1, 2. And then it looks like we got a clear rocker plate. Find the other part of that rocker plate. There we go. Oh, we're not there quite yet. Look at me jumping ahead. Man, I am a troublesome person. 1 and 2. So are we, looks like we're doing this twice. So let's pull out all the clear pieces. We got this. This one's going here, but it seems like, I see it. I got one more translucent one right there. Right here. Okay. Then we're going to snap these on. 1. And this is going to go on top. Boom. And we got 2. It's going to go on top right here. Boom. Okay. And then we're building an antenna. So I guess, again, one of the things I'm not, like, I'm fine with, but I've become not so keen on is when we have multiple parts and pieces. Hey, we're going to do this, 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 we're going to do this. I'm fine with that. Except I'm like, okay, where do I put it? And some of that might just be my brain and the way that I, view the world and deal with things. But there are many times when I start getting kind of anxious because I'm like, I would want this to be on the car. So now I've got 2 flight stands and an antenna, nowhere to put any of it. And that's where I'm like, okay, this needs to change a little bit. Because now we're going to be building up all the back, we're going to be doing all this extra stuff, but we are not putting it anywhere. And I don't like that. That's quite nerve-wracking for me. Very nerve-wracking. Where I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. Because I would want to take it and put it on the build. Because I'm very much about getting certain portions, pieces, things like that done. So I've got 2 pieces now. I've got technically 5 different pieces. Okay, so this is going to go to here. Okay. So that's settled, and then we're going with a 1 by, and then 4 of these 1x4s. 1, 2, 3, and I should have 1 more. 4. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All done in that silver. This is supposed to sit right up here on this, just like that, right? No. Here. Goes like that. Okay. And then we've got 4 service bars. So 1 goes this way. 1 goes this way. So gotta move it over. Boom, boom. Same, this one goes vertical, the other's going to go sideways. Should have 1 more. At this point, I'm kind of looking, I'm like, wait a second, how am I missing this? Unless, I found it. It was hiding. Okay, so that's going to go this way. Now, we've got these 2 handlebars, and they're using this in a very cool fashion. Now, I do like this quite a bit. We're snapping these down, and these are going to be fitting this way for kind of an engine part to snap onto there. So we're going to grab, this is our engine part. Let's set that there. And how is that gonna, I don't know how that's supposed to fit between those. Okay, this, oh, I see. I missed something. Yeah, some of the directions, so we do have this little bar here. This fits under there. That makes much more sense, and then we can move these, and we've got this kind of like engine portion in the back, which is actually like, the way they're doing this part is actually pretty cool. But it takes a minute, because you're like, wait a second, something doesn't align correctly, and it's, if you're missing that one little piece or part, that's what's going on. So we've got this, we've got this piece here, we got this piece right here, then we've got a half one, it's a 1x2 round, but it's a half of a 1 by, technically a 2x2 round half. So we got that here. Okay. And then we're going up, it looks like 1 more. So here. This one will go here. Then we get a stud. Now, we have some with holes and some with not, and I believe this is one that does not have the hole. And I'm going to make that distinction, and here's my reason why. I have a feeling that we're going to be using that piece. So, just my feeling. Now these are going to go in 1 and 2, and these are like little hair dryers, but they're like handheld hair dryers. We're going to put those together to create this sort of greebly system right here. Okay, and then, oh, we're still building on it, so we still need a of these, and then one of these on the end. We're going to turn that. This gets 1 and 1. Very interesting. And then we have, it looks like a little bar that's going to go onto this. And this is where we're getting our 2 that are 1, 2. So these are 2 1 by 1 rounds that actually have a hole in it. That's going to go that way. And then we're building, it looks like another one of the little round pieces. So let's find it. 1, 2. So that one goes here. This one will go up top. Okay. That's going to fit into here. Oh, cool. So this is like our little engine part. So that's what this is. This is going to end up being a little engine part. We're going to turn it this way. Then we've got 1, 2 of these. Now, again, these are the rubber pieces that have all the stuff that breaks off of it. I'm not too happy with that. But I do like what we're seeing. So, besides for the silver popping off, and I could probably take, what I might have to do is I might have to find, I have some silver furniture polishers things that we can use to color that in. Because the problem with trying to put like a spray, so if you're doing a chrome spray on the rubber pieces as they move and twist and bob and all that, it's just going to fall off. So it does not last, and that becomes a bit of an issue. It does. But I will go and tell you, look at that. Look how smooth that is. That is pretty slick. I would probably come back, peel these. Looks like it's just falling off. Yeah. Just falling off. But I might be able to go back and do like a little silver rub and buff on that to get that where it needs to be. Alright, so this is to fit to here. So we got this full engine block here, which is pretty cool. And then it looks like we need our 2 connectors. 1, 2. This one's going to start here. And it's going to go up into this right over here. So we're going to pull that up. Pop that in over there. Boom. And then this one's going to go over here. And that one's going to pop in over here. So, see if I can turn it just a little bit. Okay, not too keen about that part. And there's nothing to hold it down. Which I felt like that probably should have had something in there that would have done that. But it does not. It does not have it. Okay, so we got this. And we're still going. Because I guess now we're building the wings. So we still have multiple parts out. You know how I feel about that. This and then one of these. So we've got 1, 2, 1 on there. Okay, and then 1 more. 1 more of these, 1 of these. And where are they? The ones that sweep up. There we go. So this goes on the end. 1 more up here. And then 1 right there. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Boom. And then Now it looks like we've got a silver piece here, a 1x1 brick with a hole, and we're using it. It looks like it's like a little fin on the back, right? Boom. There we go. Then we have a grill, a 1x1 tile, and then this slopey thing right here. So this slopey thing should go. Oh, look, I missed something. A 1x3 in this. So this goes on the end, 1x2. And then a 1x3 right here. So it's going to go up even higher than it was. So that goes to here. This goes here. And then we put silver on the end. Boom. And now we're doing the same. We're making yet another piece that's not attached into the car yet. How I feel about that. This part is driving me crazy. I like to put it on the vehicle. I want to see it there. I want to feel like I've accomplished something instead of doing it all at once. I'd much rather do small bits, get what I can in, get them where I need to get them, and then, look at it, take a step back and look at it after I'm done. But I don't like doing it this way. Here and here. Okay. This and our brick. It's going to go right on the back. This and this. 1, 2. 2. So go right here. Boom. There, and then our tile on the end. Boom. And then we should have our two little fins. So here we go. Fins are going to go down like that. The other one over here is going to go down like that. Alright, let's take a look. Okay. So earlier, when I had these parts moved, I was like, no, it's like they're supposed to go over here. They are supposed to go kind of over on this little side part. So in the live portion of the build, I was looking at it, I was like, hey, that doesn't actually add up where it's supposed to go. And I was right. When I went to change it and I looked at it, I was like, no, obvi, that's not correct, blah, blah. And technically, I was actually correct. It doesn't happen very often. But in that, I have loosened up something else. I've got to fix that now. So sometimes, some of these fits, they're so tight that after the fact, it's really hard to fix that. So we're going to try to pop this off. And let's fix this. Here, there. And this is, some of this is being held on by one stud. So some of this I'm not too keen on, but like we probably should have had a stud there to hold all that into place. Okay, so we have 1. 2 would be right here. So it's set up like that. Okay. We've got those on already. I've got all that set. The engine portion is going to go right back here. So that's supposed to set right in here. Looks good. Besides for the peeling chrome. The rest of that looks really good. I'm going to turn these a little bit to make more of that cage. This probably could have used like a little Technic bar, something going across it, just to hold those into place. Because that is starting to want to pull up. Get that off the table. And now we need to put this so we have the antenna going up top. See, this is where probably us doing a little bit at a time would have been the smarter move. Just saying. And then these obviously are going to be going up here against these. So let's press those into place. Goodbye, antenna. You do not have to be in my space right now. So 1 and 2. Just that. There we go. And that should hold that into place. And then we can adjust these. I'll probably adjust these down like that. And then I'll adjust these up like that. Okay. And then, of course, these are going to fit there on the bottom. This is going to go here. And we'll fix that. Okay. So that part's done. So the rest of it is actually just pieces and parts for the trunk. I want to go ahead and build the trunk so I have it. So if I want to take it apart and do it, I can. I'll just have to find a place to store it. But one should be 4 here. We're doing that twice. 1, 2 over. Is that right? Yep. And then we need 1, 2, 2 of these, 1 and 2, and then 2 of these, 1 and 2. Okay, let's see what we're doing. We've got this. Let's go to the end here. This goes on the end of this. That goes here. So 1. Boom. The same thing here. 2. Boom. And I'm wondering if these are the other tail fins. Yeah, these are the other tail fins. 2. Okay, so this and this. It's going to go here. 1, 2, and this. Go right there. It's going to go right on the back. Might be easier to peg them beforehand. 1, 2. It's going to go into here. And then we've got these that are going to go on 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we have our tires. We're going to go ahead and build those. 1. And we're going to go ahead and peg it. 2. It's interesting because one of the tires in the back are a different type of tire, so they don't fit like the other. 2. Okay. And then we have our decal. Now that decal is all busted up for me, so there's nothing I can do with that. We have that one more decal. That was this one right here, number 12, but I don't remember seeing anything for number 12, which is kind of bothersome because we should have had it somewhere, and it seems like I missed it. So we'll have to go back and look. Oh, I see. And then we've got this with the 3 pieces going across. 1, 2, and 3. And then these are going to go to here. Boom and boom. Okay. And then we had just a few bits and bobs and stuff left. I mean, nothing crazy. I'm going to go back and look to see where I must have missed number 12 as far as our decal. My guess is maybe that was something in the front we could have changed. Oh, I see. It goes right on the back. So they have us putting it on the back. Let's see if I can go back to that one. So 99 here, 202, 96. Yeah, so they have us putting it across multiple parts. I'm not going to do that. Oftentimes it's where, so if I have one decal and it's going across 3 of these, no big deal. But they want the decal to go across all these little plates. And that just, yes, will it look nice? Yeah, it'll probably look nice. Will it cause some issues with the look overall? Yes, it'll cause some issues with the look. So for me, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay, so we have this as far as our completed build for our sci-fi car, which I dig this quite a bit. Let's see how it looks and fits in here, and then, you know, we could always trade it, look at the other one, but this is, so this one's kind of big. This one will not fit in completely with that, so that's a little too big, but we'll open this up, pull this out. Now, to change it, you're just going to pop the engine block off. You're going to be popping these pieces off here. And then these are going to go and set right into place here. One. I'm going to pop these 2 off. That antenna is about to drive me bonkers. So is that plate there. Got all sorts of stuff in the way. Okay, so we would do, let me take this off. We would take this part off. We're going to put this on here. This trunk piece would go on here. See, this is where I think the sticker should go, is across that right there. Matter of fact, if I do it, that's probably where I'd put the sticker, in my opinion. I think that would look the best. Then this will pop off here. This will pop off here. Throw that antenna in the trash. No, it's fine. It's just, it is kind of bothering me a little bit, because every time I turn around, I'm like, bro. It's breaking off. I'm like, yo, stop it. Okay, so we're going to kind of go all the way back up to where we were. Okay, because we want to see it as a finished piece here. Okay, so it looks like we're going 1, 2, 3 steps back. 1 and 2. I'm going to pull these clear ones up. We got some extra pieces and parts. I'll end up boxing those, quite honestly. And then this, if we were looking at the car, this would go in here. Yeah, okay. So we can move these out. We can put this back on. No, let's do this. Let's see if this will make it any better. Yeah, that holds a little bit better. Okay, so we got this. This will... Oh, I have a banana. Okay. So that'll sit into place there. We've got that. This rocks down. And looky there. We've got our completed build. We got the Back to the Future. We've got, you know, the doors here. We could always open this up. This part is a tight fit, I will admit. Like, this part is tight. But look at that. Look how nice all this is. We got printing on it. There's a few areas where I've got things that, like, this doesn't want to snap down. I might be replacing that peg. But, I mean, you got all this beautiful printing. It looks incredible. Now we got our Bel Air there. It'd be nice if we could have a way to display some of this. Unfortunately, the flying car part of the build does not fit in here, but the Bel Air does. I do kind of wish, so we do have this here, but this likes to rotate and turn. I do wish there was a better way to fix that. And that might be something I kind of look into, like, hey, what can I do to make this part of the build a little bit better? So I'm always looking for, like, some adjustments on this. But yeah, that is the final part of the Back to the Future Silverwing Cyclone. So I'm going to call it a night. It is a late night. So I'm going to call it a night. And yeah, we'll come back to this. I'll review this. I'll get the review up. But I will put the link for the for this on my shop down below. So that way, if you want to get it, just copy, paste, do it there. You could also see it in my link tree in my shop. I have it there as well. So that way, if you're wanting to get this, you'd be able to get it without any hitch, without any problem. Okay. Hey, I thank you all for checking this out. For those who were on that live earlier for the big portion we did, hey, I thank you all for doing it, checking things out. Again, you could always follow me on TikTok, Tayraygun, Twitch, Tayraygun, here on YouTube, Instagram, Tayraygun as well. A lot of the stuff that I post on one channel is the same on the others, with a few slight differences here and there, depending on the edit and what the copyright is at the time. So, I've got, you know, content on every platform. I will say, on TikTok, if you're not following Bearded Blue Collar Brick Builder, go ahead and follow him. You need to. He's got a lot of great content. He invited me onto the show, so I did the show with him. Had a lot of fun. Buddy out of Houston, so he's one of my native Texas builders. Texas builders, whoop whoop. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification down below. Like this, it helps YouTube know what you like and what I'm making. And comment, what's your favorite part of this? What part would you like to see change? And, you know, just kind of stick around for the actual review, because I'll have that up and coming here pretty soon. And, yeah, I thank you all. Hey, I love you all. Jesus loves you more, believe it or not. Yeah, believe it. Nothing you can do about it either. So, good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting.